Justin Jefferson resets the wide receiver market, and the Minnesota Vikings pay a monster record-setting deal to their star wide receiver. And what does this mean, guys, for your Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward as they continue to search to fill this number 2 hole at the wide receiver spot for the 2024 season? Welcome back to Mic Drop Sports, everybody, for round 2, our second upload of the day here on the channel. I wanted to talk about what this deal means for Justin Jefferson in terms of across the rest of the league. What kind of ramifications does this have for teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are in search of a number 2 target? And what are they going to be able to do in terms of finding that guy financially? Is this going to pin the Steelers against the wall to where maybe they can't get it done to get a guy that would be, what they are actually looking for? I don't think it's going to totally kill their chances of finding somebody, because there is only one Justin Jefferson right now. He is the best in the league, but Justin Jefferson resets this market with a $140 million 4-year deal. $88.7 million due at signing, which is a record for a non-quarterback position inside of the NFL. Also, not only a record-setting wide receiver deal, but a record-setting at any other position, considering not at a quarterback spot. So Justin Jefferson, 110 million fully guaranteed throughout the terms of this 4-year contract. And I think this plays a big role throughout the rest of the league, considering the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of those teams involved in the wide receiver search. Now that we sit post-June 1, you are going to see some activity now. Justin Jefferson again with the record-breaking deal. And I think this means for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to put some of these wide receivers maybe out of your reach, considering a Brandon Ayuk, a Deebo Samuels. Maybe a guy like a DK Metcalf is more along the lines of what you need to be doing, considering he isn't the top guy anymore. Maybe that's what you're looking at. You're going to have to figure out how this all fits financially. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers get away with it for 2024 with the ability to bring a guy in, split maybe the salary for this year for the 2024 season with the team that they trade with, but what is it going to cost in terms of draft capital? It all plays a big role into this, guys. Whenever these contracts become bloated like this, these big deals come, initially it's going to take a while for this market to settle down and really take that reset. And teams like the Steelers are going to have a difficult time, I think, initially trying to get this done. So possibly you see the Pittsburgh Steelers standing pat a little bit, waiting a little bit as the market starts to continue to churn a little bit, to where maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers just don't make a move, a gut check reaction, quick, or a knee-jerk reaction like that, to where it costs them dearly. But Justin Jefferson resetting this wide receiver market plays a role in the Steelers' current roster. When you look at a guy like George Pickens, who's going to be due a deal, are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be willing to separate with this kind of money, or even near this kind of money? And I think George Pickens is going to have a monster year to even come close or even near or sniff this type of money from the Steelers, at least. You look at this contract and you say to yourself, are the Steelers even going to be able to find somebody that's going to be able to work, considering you don't want to give up high-value draft capital for a 1-year rental for a wide receiver that's going to go out and hit the market immediately. If you're going to do something like that, you want to just pay low value in terms of what you're giving up to acquire that player. So the Steelers really have to weigh their options here, guys, and I do think that this plays a significant role inside what they're going to be able to do, especially with targets like a Brandon Ayuk, a Deebo Samuels, somebody along those lines, one of the upper echelon names of the wide receiver group inside of the NFL. And I think that the Steelers are really going to have to do their due diligence here and really plan for the future, because you have to take George Pickens into consideration. You have to take in the future contract of whoever you bring in, and whoever you bring in, are they going to be your future number 1 target, to where you're willing to separate with this kind of money, or something similar, something even remotely close? Because even something close is going going to be a heavy, heavy hit financially in terms of salary cap for your Steelers moving forward, especially into 2025, 2026. And you look at the Steelers when they have nobody on a giant quarterback deal right now. So they have no big inflated quarterback salary, but yet they don't have their quarterback maybe per se of the future on the roster. Are they going to be able to sign Justin Fields to an extension for maybe a team-friendly price? Does that allow the Pittsburgh Steelers to be able to go out there and grab a wide receiver that's relatively decently priced like this, something similar to where they're going to be able to afford it, and it's okay to take on that type of salary? But if you get one of these quarterbacks that you're not real sure of, or maybe even go out and draft somebody next year, you're going to want to put quality pieces around them. So maybe this is what the Steelers do, and they do dump more money into the wide receiver room, at least for the 2024 season, and try to figure it out. And like I said, if you're able to trust in enough of Justin Fields' ability to grow and his ability to become the leader of this football team, the franchise quarterback, maybe you do get him at a reasonable price, which allows you to be able to put $50-60 million into a wide receiver room for, one season or something. I'm not sure how this all unfolds. I know that sounds like an unreasonable amount, but if you look at this and you say to yourself a quarterback salary of like $40-50 million, you would be able to do that because you don't have an inflated even wide receiver salary right now. So the Steelers do have financial flexibility, and they are going to have money next year. One of the top 5 teams in the NFL in terms of amount of money available to them next season. So I do think that this is going to play a significant role. Do I think that it squashes any deal that the Pittsburgh Steelers could potentially make here this summer moving forward in order to secure another wide receiver? No, because I think they can still do it this season. But I think where you look at the real ramifications of something like this would be moving forward, especially a sign and trade type option, or trade and sign type option, to where you get this guy, he's only on 1 year dead deal, so you got to make the money work. So you're going to want to bring him in and sign him immediately. That's just really what you're going to do, because you don't want to allow him to come in, and if you think he's going to be part of your long-term plans, come in and blow the world up and have a monster year, and then you're screwed because you're not going to be able to afford to re-sign him. You're going to have to let George Pickens go. You want to figure out, if you're the Steelers, how to keep your player in George Pickens, a guy that you have really high hopes for, your team's current number 1 target. You want to figure out how to keep him and still add a top upper echelon target inside of the wide receiver market of the NFL. So yes, Justin Jefferson's deal will play a role of significance throughout this summer especially. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think you need to allow things to settle out here a little bit. Continue to just lay low and be patient, as Omar Khan has done so far this offseason, and not jump the gun in any real significant way. Omar Khan has done an excellent job at that, guys, and he hasn't overblown anything. He hasn't got, over the top and in his head, or over his head in any situation, and I feel like he'll continue to do that in this situation, as he has done so far. He hasn't pulled the trigger and made any type of foolish move. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to stand pat. What I do think the immediate impact of this is I think that the Steelers may possibly wait, and you probably won't see any type of deal done here for at least a couple weeks. 2-3 weeks is what I think. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility that they do find their target, they get something done, maybe not one of those Debos or Ayuks or a DK Metcalf. Maybe it's more somebody like a Cortland Sutton, or just somebody like that. I'm just naming names out there to give you different tiers. But you look at this and you say to yourself, man, this is going to cause real issues. Yes, I think it'll cause a little bit of a ripple effect throughout the league and for your Pittsburgh Steelers in particularly, but I don't think it's a devastating thing. I think Justin Jefferson is just an elite player, so allow this market to just reset a little bit with this monster record-setting deal for Justin Jefferson, and see what happens, and don't overreach if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have a quality nucleus right now, and you don't want to get into financial trouble or cap hell when you are currently sitting in a good situation, if you ask me, with young players mixed with some veteran players on some reasonable salaries for their further stature. So we'll see how this again works out, guys. But this is our second upload of the day. I wanted to bring this news to you and talk a little bit about Justin Jefferson and what the deal meant for the Steelers in the wide receiver department. But we will be moving forward tonight with Steel City Live, and we will talk about it. Our daily live stream at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you join us for that. So let's look forward to that show and talk more about this wide receiver market, what this deal means for your Pittsburgh Steelers, and exactly what we can expect moving forward here through the summer. Until tonight, for Steel City Live, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Like, subscribe, share, do all that great stuff. And I appreciate you. And thank you for joining me along this journey of growing this monster Steelers Nation community. Until tonight, peace.